welcome to Brown Sugar Confessions. We are hitting the end of Kinktober. Can you believe it? It's been 4 weeks already. I don't know, for me, this feels like it has gone by way too fast. We know the Time Lords are playing with our timeline, and I wish they would stop because look, the hair that has grown out on my leg is like 4 week old hair, and I know
First
I
of all,
just shaved my
ma'am,
legs like two
ma'am,
days ago.
ma'am.
Tell me it's
TMI.
not true.
Is it growing anywhere else like that at that rate?
No, no. So it is just my legs. So Time Lord, stop it. First, I'd like to say, one, welcome to Brown Sugar Confessions. It is Kinktober. We are on our last week, and we want to thank our listeners to listening to us on Power 1017. And if you're listening to us and you want a little more of us because we're awesome, skip on over to YouTube, look for Brown Sugar Confessions, exactly how it sounds, exactly how it spells, and you will see our lovely faces. Click on it, like, share, and comment. Like, we're going to make a whole playlist. So, like, you're going to be able to clean your whole house. If you're me, like a Virgo, and you clean your whole house while you're listening to podcasts, you're going to be able to do that. Like, it's awesome. Also, if you want to listen to us on Spotify, hop on over to Brown Sugar Confessions. Download Spotify. Of course, you have to do that now. Boo.
That's important.
But download it and go listen to us on Spotify. We're going to get straight into it. We have an amazing guest. We'd like to welcome our guest first of all. We have Louisiana Cannabis, Jessica Potts. Welcome to Brown
Hi.
Sugar
Thank you for
Confessions.
having me.
You're welcome. And of course, we have our lovely hostess with the mostesses. We have the lovely KD. She is doing hot girl stuff, so she may chime in later. If you act right, she may chime in later.
Only if you act right.
And we have the ever lovely Miss T. And I do
Oh,
have to say this right now. Finally, Miss T is offering her spiritual services. She reads tarot, and she's finally offering her services to the masses. You need to
I'm out in
find
the
her on
world, y'all.
EC.
I'm out in the world.
Look, what I'm going to tell you is there are lots of people who read tarot, right? We know this. And when they read tarot, they're not reading from a place in their heart. They're reading tarot because it's a dollar sign and they just want to tell you anything.
Mhm.
And that is not how Miss T is at all. When she reads, she's not, what I'm telling you is she's not reading you for filth or anything like that. But what she is doing is she's reading you from her heart and she's giving you the honest truth so that you can better yourself and you can see what's popping. I'm going to suggest that she tells you what her EC is so you can hop on over there and share and purchase, of course, and get to know her and get to know her services so that she can blow up and keep helping the world be a better place.
My God, that was
So
like one of the
we're going to talk
best
about
reviews I ever had. Can I get that in writing? Can I put that on my
Virgo only.
website? Cause Jesus,
Absolutely.
try
Absolutely.
not to cry
So
over
we're
here.
going
Oh
to
my
get
God.
into it.
Oh,
Aw, look, I love you, boo.
About to say it can't be
I love
shedding
you.
G tears. We just started the show.
So we're going to get into it. We welcomed our guests, but I want to know how Miss Jessica Potts is doing this lovely evening.
I'm doing great. I'm really excited. Like I've never done a brown sugar confession, so I'm really
Oh, you
excited.
picked the best one. You picked the best time.
So yeah, I'm really
We don't
excited to
bite
see how this goes.
unless you ask.
Yeah,
Consent.
that consent is everything.
Consent. Um, how are you doing, Miss T?
Oh man, I am so excited. Spooky season weekend is finally here. Halloween is finally here, and there's so much stuff happening in Atlanta this weekend. And I'm like, I want to do everything, but I can only do one thing, and that's going to be one music fest. So if you're in the One Music Fest streets and you just happen to see me bouncing around with some glow in the dark cat ears on, mind your business or come say hi. But either way, I'm going to have a
Yes, you
great
better
time, and I'm
dance.
very excited. And remember, cuffing season is still on the rise. So if you haven't had your clink clink yet, or you ain't figured it out, hopefully you'll figure it out by how everybody looks in their Halloween costumes this
Mm.
weekend. But I got a story to tell for y'all. Y'all ready? Let's talk about
No,
it.
but yeah.
I met my future husband when I called the cops on him. All right, you're ready.
Ew.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Katherine Johnson met her future husband, Michael Johnston, when she called the cops on him after he drunkenly stumbled into her house through an unlocked door and passed out on her couch. First of all, it is 2023. Why are we still walking around with our doors unlocked? At least at night. I hope this happened at night. 7 years later, they are married with child. But here's what the story was. At the time, she was 22 years old. She was going out for the night. She had told her sister, hey, I'm gonna be home later. Keep the door unlocked. Sister leaves the door unlocked, and then I'm assuming she went to bed. I don't know. After hours of partying, she comes back to find some random guy snoring on her couch. So what does any normal person do? They call the cops because, there's a random person on my couch snoring like he lives here, and clearly he doesn't. Cops come get him. What had happened was Michael was going out, and his coworker said, hey, you can crash at my place. I'll leave the door unlocked. So he went over thinking that that was his coworker's place and crashed on the couch, but that was not his coworker's place. His coworker's place was a couple of houses in another direction. That's how he got picked up by the cops. Thankfully, she didn't press charges once everything was explained. He showed back up, with flowers, and it's like, I'm really sorry about what happened. They kikied about it, and then next thing you know, Michael's meeting the parents. They get married, they get a dog, they have a kid, and everything was happily ever after. It's a cuffing season that cuffed the right way? Maybe?
Ew. As a Virgo, ew.
Why
You
ew?
broke into my house. I'm not going to date you. You broke into my house. You broke into my house.
Did he break in though, or did he walk in because you left it open?
That's true. She
Breaking in
did
is
leave the door open.
just because I leave something open don't mean come in.
This is also true. This is also very, very true, and that's the thing, because I'm like, it's adorable, but on the other side, we trespassing. Drunk or sober, it's like,
Now
but which
I did
is,
read that he had he explained the story to her parents and apologized. And once the father was like, "Oh, I see that this is a crazy mistake,"
like, this could have happened to anybody.
yeah, then
Not me.
it was cool.
Like I say, I was like, this is how people end up, under the morgue, is messing around and ended up in the wrong people's houses. You gotta be careful out here. We're in 2023.
No, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. No. You broke into my house, man. We got to fight. We have to it's fist the
That.
cuffs. What's that thing where they used to do in the old days where you slap somebody with the glove?
Oh, I challenge you to a
Y'all know
duel.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they slap her with the
That's
glove,
it.
be like, we are fighting at dawn.
But it wouldn't be a regular glove. It would be like one of them knighted gloves, the metal ones. That's what I would have to slap you with.
Oh, like they did in
Like
Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Yes, that one.
movie. My favorite movie. Such a
First of all,
nerd.
Radioland, if you don't know what Robin Hood Men in Tights is, you're missing out, and I need you to catch up.
Look, okay. So you guys want to know something?
What's up?
One one of my cosplays for this upcoming year, uh I'm going to be Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Hold on, like Robin Hood, like Robin of Locksley.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be
And
awesome.
Lana Dixon,
Hmm.
she's gonna dress up and we're gonna sing Men in Tights. We're
I
all
love
gonna
it.
dress up. And if Brenda goes, we're all gonna dress up. I started making the cosplays already.
I love it. I am
Oh my God.
absolutely in love
So,
with it.
do we have another hot topic
We do.
that we
So,
could
and
do?
this is also in the season of cuffing season. So, I know there's a bunch of y'all out there that are like, I don't even know like if anybody's like interested in me. I don't know how to cuff people. I don't even know how to get cuffed. Well, guess what? There are hints in case you realize that somebody is into you. So, according to this dating expert, let me see if I can find his name in here.
Okay.
Jacob Lucas. is a dating expert, and he's exposing courting advice and secrets on TikTok. So he made a video about 5 things that you need to look out for to determine if somebody is interested in you. So the first one is the first sign a potential partner will show is that they will always come to you for advice. Okay, so if you see people that are always coming to you for, your perspective, they probably into you. And two of the reasons they do this because they highly value your opinion, and also because it is a good excuse to talk to you. I mean, that makes sense. So then another sign is when they are playfully teasing you. And then I thought about it. I'm like, is this part of that reason when they say that boys are picking on you is because they like you?
No,
No?
no.
No?
Because teasing is something silly like, oh my gosh, you like gummy bears? Not when dudes hit you
That's fair.
with clumps of dirt on the playground. I'm sorry.
That's fair. That is fair.
That's their emotional modulation at that age.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, also, the Jacob Lucas is also from the UK. I forgot to mention that. So, UK TikTok people, go find them if you want more information on cuffing season. So, another way to know if somebody, is into you, they slide into your DMs, which, I mean, we all knew that, so that's not really giving us much. And then let's see, what is the last one? Always commenting on your stories or sending you memes. And then another indication is that somebody is trying to make you your bae before Christmas is that they try to copy the way you speak and mirror your slang. So if they're trying to mirror you in your actions and how they talk, that means they may be interested in you. So now everybody, I need you to think
I'm
to the last people that you've been around who's been copying you, who's been talking to you in your DMs. Don't be like me. I talk to everybody in my DMs. I send everybody memes. I send everybody memes. If we're friends, you're not safe. You are no longer safe from me being the meme lord.
But you know what? It does work to mirror the person you're interested in talking to mirror their affectations and their expressions and their hand movements. It works. It
Hmm.
works so well that at this point it's a guaranteed for me. Like I do this thing where you look into the left eye, the right eye, and then down at their mouth and then back up at both of their eyes. Game over. Game over, boo. You're mine.
Huh.
That's how we work.
Have you done this to me?
Oh.
Now I have to think about
Yes.
it. Like, is
Yes.
this why we're so cool? Oh my god, she don't put a spell on me. Look, then I gotta think about
Oh
like,
my
dang,
gosh.
have I like been mirroring people? Like, when I read that, I'm like, I'm literally taking a self assessment of myself. Like, dang,
Yeah,
does
it's
this person
wild,
like me?
right?
Do I like them?
Probably not. If you're like me and you got that that Libra placement in a weird place, no, you're just flirting with people to flex your power. That's it. That's
Ah, dang.
literally it.
All
All
right, so don't
right.
be space
So we're
aliens.
gonna, yeah, don't be a space bunny like me. Do not be
Ah,
a space bunny like me. By the time you finish space bunnying, you have dates with 4 different people and you're in your pajamas. You're not going nowhere. So you got to ghost these fools. So don't be like me. Don't be like me. Be better than me. All right, so we're gonna get into this show, and I want to read Jessica's her bio. So Jessica is a Louisiana native born woman who has been passionate about caring for others. She was raised on a 400-acre cotton and soybean farm in rural northeast Louisiana, which exposed her to both the science and business aspects of agriculture. At a very young age, she discovered the beauty of nature. Sh- But I mean, she's the education is phenomenal. But I have to say thank you for being a United States teacher and teaching our young folks and
That.
inspiring them. She is a veteran teacher for 15 years. I have to say thank you. I could never do that. I thank you for your patience and your willingness to teach and be patient with the children. Because of Jessica's expertise, passion for helping other people, Jessica has become a well-known industry leader in the cannabis and hemp industry across Louisiana and the South. In 2015, she was part of a lobbying team that successfully pushed legal medicinal cannabis through the Louisiana legislature, which, if you're not from the US, which some of our listeners are not from the US, you have to understand that southern states are very strict.
Mm-hmm.
They operate on a moral code that abides by the Bible, is what I'm going to say. Um, so to get that legislative passed for medical use is humongous. It is humongous. Um, Jessica was also essential in the foundation of the entire Louisiana state medical cannabis program through her in depth knowledge of the industry and her precise skill set. In 2018, she was one of the first and only Black women to own and operate a cannabis cultivation, manufacturing, and distribution company. Jessica also went on to found Bone Saint LLC, which provides patient education, facilitates patient enrollment into the state medical marijuana program, and her efforts do not stop there. In 2023, she held the first community outreach, education, and entertainment festival in Louisiana centered around cannabis. Jessica is now looking into hemp manufacturing, international exports, and imports through the New Orleans International Port. Thank you so much for being here, Jessica. I love cannabis. Uh, if you've listened to this show long enough, you know I am your resident edible expert. No, I'm joking. I just like edibles. I'm not expert.
She's a connoisseur, is what she's saying.
That's what
Very,
I
very
heard.
much so.
You
So
got questions, you
let's
can
get
probably answer
into
them.
look. So let's get into it because we're talking kink.
Yeah.
And now we have brought in cannabis. We are going to be talking the intersection of bringing cannabis into your intimate play. Like, let's talk consent, let's talk pros and cons, and all of that, all of those things. So, I want to ask Miss Potts about why be a cannabis advocate.
Oh, okay. So that's a long story that I'm going to really try to make concise. I was an advocate for cannabis because I became an advocate for myself first.
Oh,
Um, when I was 21, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Um, I have had to learn how to walk 7 times in my adult life. Um, I have been in pain management for 3 years due to the side effects of steroids and other medications that they use to treat MS. I had to have a total hip replacement when I was 34. Um, at that time, when I had to have the hip replacement, I was on fentanyl, morphine, and 6 to 8 Percocets per day.
Wow.
Yeah, while
whoa.
teaching.
Wow.
um, I was living a shell of a life, as you can imagine. Very depressed, very withdrawn. Didn't really have any life or hope of life because I was in so much pain. And by the time I was 40, they said I would need to be prepared to go fully on disability. Um, I was very depressed, and my mom encouraged me to go to California to USC to get at that time a third opinion, and that's where they recommended cannabis for the first time. Uh, I was really skeptical because I grew up in the 80s, um, the war on drugs. I was a dare kid. Um, I'm also, like, at that time, a teacher living in Louisiana. It's not legal. I could lose everything. But I was in such pain that I didn't have a choice. It was either heal or die. So um my cousin got me some gummies, and I had a 10 milligram gummy, and that took away all the pain. So, not with the fentanyl, not the morphine, not the Percocets. And then I just dove down that rabbit hole of the actual history, the actual science of cannabis, and how it just actually became prohibited in the early 1900s. It's been used as medication for millions of years. Um, and then the politics and racism of why it was prohibited and criminalized across the world. And Catrice knows that I'm kind of one of those hard-headed individuals where it's like, if I discover something, or I feel like, okay, well, this is helping me, how dare I not tell everybody that this can help you? So I got involved, and I spoke before legislation here, you know, did all the political rounds, and we were able to finally get it legalized here medically.
Wow.
Wow.
So,
That's
That
big.
is,
yeah.
yeah,
Because like if you've been to
that's bigger
Louisiana,
than big.
like the only
You
thing they
know.
allow is like alcohol, and that's it.
And
Alcohol
it's
and
a lot
Bibles.
of
Yeah.
alcohol, a
Yeah.
lot of alcohol. And we are the the prison capital of the world. So
The
we have the
world?
Yeah.
largest, yes,
Yeah.
Angola Prison State Penitentiary, which was a former plantation, is the largest prison in the world.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So,
wild.
Wow.
yeah, human capital is big money here. So, um, them allowing cannabis in, it still has its ups and downs, because hey, this is the world that we're in, where you can make money off of enslaving people still. So that stuff still goes on, but I don't plan on leaving home because of it. You know, I'm going to fight. I'm going to continue to fight for people, children, the elderly especially, to have
Hmm.
access.
Wow.
Excellent.
That is, I don't even know what to say. Especially when you talked about having to learn to walk 7 different times. Like when we think about that, um, and you think about how hard that is, just for a person to relearn how to walk, to learn how to walk once in their life, right? But you had to relearn how to walk 7 different times. One, the amount of just hard-headed stubbornness and stick-to-itiveness is is to be applauded, but at the same time, to hear the amount, for me, the amount of medication that you were on, and how you were still asked to function as a normal human being is astounding. And the fact that they would rather put you on these heavy, heavy, heavy drugs. And when I say heavy, if you've taken any of those drugs, you understand how heavy they are.
Mhm.
I like the fact
Um,
that you had to take more than one at the same time.
yeah,
Like,
It
how
was
are
a
you still
cocktail.
alive, ma'am?
It was a cocktail.
yeah,
And I was also on chemo as well, which had a whole nother
Jesus.
set of side effects. So, um, and by the time I had the hip replacement, my body was so tolerant I felt everything when I woke up. They couldn't stop the pain. So I totally felt how they had sawed my leg off.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say, but what I'm going to say right now is stay tuned. We're going to come back. We need to pay those bills.
Just a
So
little bit.
stay tuned. We'll be right back. If you're on YouTube, like just kick it. We're going to do some Am I the A in a little bit. All right, we'll see you after break. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody, to Brown Sugar Confessions here on Power 1017, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, under Doc Val Nefertiti, and I feel like I'm missing something. Instagram. We are on Instagram. Please like, subscribe, and follow. We are still on the road to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and probably a little over 1,000 on Facebook and Instagram. I know Doc Val, wherever she is in the world, still probably stepping on somebody's neck and humiliating them because that's what she is paid to do. All right, so we're going to get back into the show. So we are talking with the Jessica Potts. How does cannabis work with intimacy?
I love it. I love it. I do. Because like taking everything into account, like being chronically ill, having to learn how to walk, that means more than walking, that means taking care of yourself, cleaning yourself. You don't feel sexy. You don't necessarily feel attractive or in the mood or comfortable necessarily to get back in that saddle. So cannabis really has helped me understand and learn what I like for myself and what I like for my partners. And also it makes it makes me more relaxed and in tune with the sexual energy and our connection that is happening. And I think a lot of people, and especially people who are 40 plus, who have or who are taking different medications, especially blood pressure medicine for our guys out there, and antidepressants or anti-anxiety meds, which a lot of people are on, it can affect your libido. And I want more women to be able to talk about that. And I want more Black women to understand that you're supposed to enjoy sex. It's not supposed to be a chore, and to enjoy your sexuality. And cannabis has been a safe and effective way for me to do that.
I dig this, especially the enjoyment thing, because sometimes whenever I do get the chance to have a good time, I be like, dang, this is a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be doing all this, and then like I gotta be pretty, I gotta shave, I gotta look right, like I gotta like do the moves to make it feel good for me at least.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of work, and I want to work. That's what
Yeah.
I be
And
thinking.
especially if that's your first time connecting with that person,
Mm-hmm.
being intimate and vulnerable with that person. Um, it's, I don't advise alcohol because I find that alcohol really changes or turns up people's personalities and perceptions. And you can have a lot of regret after alcohol that
Yeah, a lot of it too.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot of alcohol. Yeah.
yeah. So, with cannabis, I find that it doesn't necessarily do that in any form, like black you out to where you don't know what you're doing or you're in uncomfortable situations. Um, I think that at all times it should be consensual. Like you should not be, you know, dosing people, giving them food that is infused and they don't know. That's just akin to, putting anything else in somebody's food or water. Um, but also, something I found, ladies.
Hmm?
Now, wait. You're like, wait a minute, what? Now, THC acts as a vasodilator. So it opens up all the lovely blood vessels. And so when that touches your nether regions, your beans, and all of that, and your cantaloupes and everything, it wakes them up. Okay, it's like imagine all those blood vessels getting filled with and engorged with blood, and they're excited and happy and stimulated to be touched. That's what THC lubricant can do for you.
Hold on, before you
What
say
I'm
anything,
gonna
Tracy, for all the 16 and under listening, because I know y'all are, get off of this show right now. Come back
No,
next
not
week.
right now. Not right now.
This is not for you.
It's not
What
for
I'm
you.
gonna say is, if you want to make macaroni noises, do that. Do
Macaroni
that. If
noise.
you want,
Ooh.
eh, yeah,
In the
you want
pot.
that wet macaroni? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That got that guap, got that guap. What what I'm gonna tell you is it also helps to with lubrication. Even if
Yes.
you're eating it eternally, it helps with lubrication. I would like to talk more about possibly, I don't want to, are there specific strands? We don't have to get into name because we are on the radio,
Yeah.
but are there specific strands that you can look up that can help? And do you have a resource for that? Like, do you have a website or do you have information that you can share with us so that we can share it with the general public? I think because there are so if you're new to this, if you're a baby, you probably think all cannabis is all cannabis, right? It's all the
No.
same. But we know that that's completely not true. There is cannabis for anxiety, there is cannabis for pain, and there's cannabis for head relaxation and cannabis for full body relaxation.
Mhm.
Can we talk about that?
Yes. So if you would like a personal consultation, you can go to my website, which is www.bone, BONNE, Sante, SANTELA.com. That means good health in French. Um, so with specific strains, that depends really on after talking to someone about what's their issue sexually or being intimate. Is it pain? Is it trauma? Is it the fact, oh, like I have bad knees, like what it, or is it a mental thing? And then you can play with the different cannabinoids and terpenes. Now a lot of people are like, oh, sativas or indicas. Well, in 2023 that's not really a viable thing to say anymore because there's not any more really true sativas, true indicas. Everything's kind of a hybrid now. And
Hmm.
you'll have an indica dominant or a sativa dominant. Sativa, just for those of you who don't know, that gives you more of a head high, head relaxation, or sometimes even mentally stimulating. Um, the indica, think of in the couch. It's a
That's how I
full
learned it.
Yes, it's a full body relaxation and tension release. I'll say it like that. The hybrids, that's what you're going to find unless you have a specific craft grower that, I don't know, Tracy probably knows somebody for that too. That
What
grows
doesn't
this
she know?
cannabis in the Himalayan mountains only on, the third year. Some crazy stuff like that.
You
But
gotta get it from Lake Minnetonka.
yes, yes. So so what people have to start doing, or you can hire somebody, a consultant, is you have to look at the terpenes and the parent plant basically, and try to also see if the patient is on any prescription medications
Uh-huh.
that can really be the cause of low libido or impotence or anything like that. So the long and short of it is it's really all individual. Like there's not a, here, take this green giant lube and rub that on, and that's gonna get you that's gonna get you going. You know, there are definitely things that kind of help. Like I said, the THC infused lubricants, and they're really hard to find now. So, you know, Foria made one, and they've discontinued it, but it was fabulous. And also, the tinctures are good. If you like to smoke, some people don't. That helps, and that's really a fast, relaxant for you. Um, yeah, and massages and creams and oils are really good for intimacy, period. Like, it doesn't have to be penetration.
That's good to know. Bon Sante. Sante.
Bon Santé, yes.
Sante. Okay, I've
Yes.
been saying it wrong this entire time, and I apologize. I've been saying Bon
It's
Saint.
okay. It's okay. Look, as long as you say it.
That. So you told us a little bit about Bon Sante. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
So, that's my advocacy and patient outreach company, and it provides the service of basically taking your knowledge to that next level in cannabis. So it's not just getting the, from your neighborhood dealer or dispensary, just whatever. It's really being proactive and looking at it as more than just a herb that when you happen to light it, it does, it elevates you and makes you
It makes you
giggle.
feel good.
Yes, that it's actually more than that it actually has these different terpenes, these different cannabinoids, and how they interact with your body and your receptors, and how they will react if you've had certain medications, how it may react differently for you. That is the thing that I really teach people, so they can go anywhere in the country or the world and make informed decisions about what they're consuming and why they're consuming.
I
Because
like
I'm all
that.
about intent. Even when you just want to get blazed, okay, let that be your intent. If you want to feel sexy, set the intention. I'm all about setting the intention when you imbibe in sacred plant medicine, which I consider cannabis to be. Set the intention. Like, set the intention. I want the taco to be dripping. If that's your intention, set it.
Got beat up by a taco. I love it.
I lost my whole train of thought on that one.
Now I want a taco. But I do
Taco
have
with your
I
pancake.
do have a question, and this may take you a while to form the answer. Um, can you please tell us? I always like to suggest to people, um, you know, before you decide to be intimate, you should discuss, like, I want to say, not the do's and don'ts of introducing cannabis into your play. Do you have any do's or don'ts for introducing cannabis into your play?
Um, so because like it's in my name, like my real name, and in what I do, my partners know that I consume cannabis. But you can't take that for granted and assume that everybody knows that and that everybody's comfortable with that. So I definitely would
Facts.
have the conversation before there's even intimacy involved, even before there's any type of, coitus, at play here. That we have like that understanding and that vibe anyway. Because she may not need, like, they may, and but they should, they need to be totally cool with me using and consuming cannabis as I want to, so I can enjoy the time as well.
Um, do you suggest, is there a safe way to test besides smoking or ingesting? Like, is there an allergy test or something like that? Or do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying
Yeah,
not to
yeah, and
Like a
I
spot
was,
make this
test?
harder.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just put a spot on there. You still alive? Okay, you're good. Here you go.
Yeah. I mean, now you could definitely test a topical on a spot, definitely. Um, and if you're going to test, if you're going to, I'm going to say this: it's going through your lungs, processing it through your lungs, so inhalation. It gets in your system fast, and it also gets out of your system fast. So if so, with allergic reactions, the most documented that they've had is where people have the cyclical vomiting and they just cannot stop vomiting, which I'm sure is miserable. I haven't heard of them not having, like, people who like can't get high. Now, they, depending on your body, depends on how you process the THC. So for me, I process THC extremely fast. So I will get high, but I burn through it really quickly. But I also do that with pain medicines as well. So it's like, if you burn through depressants, like if alcohol, pain medicine, benzos, cannabis, anything that they consider depressants, if you have a tolerance or burn through those fast, then you probably will with THC. Now, on the other side, I'm very sensitive to stimulants.
So no
So,
caffeine, no speed, stuff like that.
yeah, no speed,
No
no
speed.
math, no
That
math.
went to
I
that
don't do
went from
math.
zero to extreme very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
None of that. None of that. So, that's why I kind of have a laissez-faire type of attitude a little bit with cannabis, because I'm like, it's not going to kill you. The worst that's going to happen is you'll have a bad moment. You'll have a bad time, but it's not, unless you're Tracy and you're putting people in the hospital for the reasons, uh, then, then you're not going to kill somebody. You're not going to kill yourself. The worst that'll happen is you may have cyclical vomiting for some hours. And some people have had cases of paranoia and increased anxiety, and that's really from them getting too much THC. They got too high, too fast.
Too fast, too hard. That happens.
All right, so we have officially like 4 minutes left in this really great show. Can you please tell us about your festival, Red Stick?
Okay, so I started Red Stick Cannabis Festival and Street Fair last year, and it was a great success. And so we're having another one in 2024, which is quickly approaching, May 18th, in the capital city of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I invite all of you from all over the world and country to come out and experience more than just New Orleans. Louisiana is a beautiful state. We have great food everywhere. And there's a lot of things to see, and come to our festival.
I'm here for this. Can we take a road trip?
I'm here for it. Yeah.
Please.
I want to go. I want to be a
yes.
part of the
That's a
thing.
much faster road trip for you than it is for us, though, Miss T.
This is also true. So here's what we're going to do. You guys are going to fly here. I'm going to pick you up in like the rental or whatever, and we're going straight there.
Yeah, to the
75 South on the I-10. I got you.
Tell us the dates again for Red Stick. Like, is it just a 1 day event or is this a multiple day
No,
event?
right now it's just 1 day. It's May 18th, 2024. We have live bands, DJs. We have actually the university comes out and does free expungements for people, which is really big, especially here with our crime. And also we have doctors doing medical recommendations, and we have around the clock educational seminars that deal with advocacy, social justice, social equity, the actual medicine side of cannabis, the legal side, the policy side, all that great stuff.
Oh,
Having a
that's
business
cool.
in cannabis, yes. So it's
Well,
a
that,
time to catch everybody who's interested.
wow. That is holy cow. I don't even know what to say. That's a
That's
lot.
awesome.
That is awesome, especially the fact that you're bringing in doctors and the university to help with expungement. Like, this is unheard of.
And in
Mm-hmm.
This
Louisiana,
is
it's
unheard of.
$583 per charge.
Oh.
Wow. So they get you every which way they can.
It
Yeah.
hurt
Crime
this
really
world.
does not pay, y'all. Yeah, crime really does not pay.
It don't.
Holy
It doesn't pay
cow.
you; it pays
It pays
them.
somebody. It
Yeah,
just ain't
it
you.
pays. Yeah, it pays. Just ain't you. Like,
Yes.
you're out of it. Wow. So we're gonna. I want to check the time really quick because I think I have one more question.
We might have to hit the
We're
question
out.
in the after party.
Oh
Go ahead.
man.
You know what? I'm going to let you. We're going to go in a little
Oh,
overtime. Go ahead
Oh,
and ask
oh,
your
Okay.
Buddy
question, and then
KD
let's
said keep the
make that
party
the
going. Let's
last.
go.
Make that the last
yes.
question.
Let's
Let's go.
go. Okay. So I this is a personal question. I take edibles, and a lot of people take them and they have like very calming reactions. I, on the other hand, am a little mischievous gremlin. I don't want to say I get into trouble, but I steal people's phones. I steal their cookies. I steal their little Debbies. I put people in the hospital. Like,
She said blonde gremlin off of Gremlins too.
Yeah. Yeah. In the wedding dress.
Yeah, the one that's got like the beauty mole sticking all the way out here.
yes, the fancy one.
Yeah.
Um, so I know when I take cannabis, my partners have been like, "Oh, here we go with this,"
Like
right?
I ain't got enough
I have
hydration for this.
Literally.
look. Thank you to all the doctors at the hydration tent in Maui. I appreciate all your assistance. Uh,
We need to get one of them on the show.
and
For real.
and for those tea bags for my partners, they appreciate that. Um, I know that's not a usual thing, right? I don't think that's usual. When I see everybody, they take cannabis, they get very relaxed.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, I am the very opposite of that. I have tried several different strains and I have tried like halving a dose and taking less and less and less, but I still get the same reaction. Um, I don't want to say is that normal, but is that normal?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're doing it, it's normal. But I do have some follow up questions. So is it only edibles that has that effect? So not so smoking as well. Like I'm sure cream salves.
I've done the lubes, I've done the creams. When I tell you, it's just a matter of how quickly I go into gremlin state.
Okay.
It is literally just
So it's more of a matter of time. Who's gonna put her
yeah,
in gremlin mode the quickest?
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, that
literally.
sounds
And
like that is maybe your most natural and relaxed state.
So you're naturally a gremlin.
That's what it sounds like.
tell me more. Tell me more.
That's what, like, yeah, like it pulls it out. Like you become you. You're free to be you.
I
Damn.
am. Yeah, I'm a gremlin. I need a shirt. Maybe that should be my next cosplay.
You know what? We need to make like another Etsy store of all of our T-shirts, and that is going to be
We
one
do.
Gremlin mode on.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think that's the end of our podcast. And I really want to send the most sincere thanks to Jessica Potts, the Louisiana Cannabis,
Thank
for
you,
being here
guys.
to round out our amazing month of Kinktober. Thank you for joining us. This was really a good show.
This was.
Really good show. I got to thank the co-host, Miss T and KD. Thank you.
You're fabulous.
And we have to thank and salute our fearless leader out there stepping on necks and making grown men cry.
We salute you, Doc Val.
And we always have to say it. Consent is key.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, stay safe and play safe. We love you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Go to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page at Brown Sugar Confessions to like, share, and follow. Stay safe and play safe. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.